My commander looked at me and said I was the weakest soldier in the entire unit. Not ready for real combat. Not someone they could trust. And definitely not someone worth sending on a mission that actually mattered. The whole squad heard it. Some stayed quiet. Others couldn't hide their smiles. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just stood there and let them believe it. Because a few hours later, everything changed. The mission went wrong. Completely wrong. And when things started falling apart, when no one else knew what to do, I was the only one left standing. So tell me, what would you do if the soldier everyone called weak was the only one who made it back alive? The morning of the mission started like any other. Cold air, heavy gear, and silence across the base that didn't feel normal. No one was joking. No one was talking. It was the kind of silence that tells you something is about to go wrong, even before it does. I was checking my equipment when I noticed the way my commander looked at me. Not with confidence, not even with doubt, just dismissal, like I didn't belong there. He walked past me, stopped for a second, and said quietly, "Try not to slow the team down today." That was it. No briefing, no encouragement, just a reminder of what he already believed about me. The others heard it. I could feel it. The same looks, the same quiet judgment. But I stayed focused, because this wasn't just another mission. Something about it felt off. The kind of mission where one mistake doesn't just get you in trouble. It gets someone killed. And for some reason, I had a feeling this time it wouldn't go the way they expected. The briefing didn't make things any better. We were being sent into a remote area just before sunset. No clear intel, no confirmed enemy count, just a rough location, and a warning that something wasn't right. Even the experienced guys in the unit looked uneasy. You could see it in their faces even if no one said it out loud. My commander stood in front of us, going over the plan like everything was under control, like this was just another routine operation. But then his eyes shifted and landed on me again. "For this mission, you stay in the rear position," he said. "Don't engage unless absolutely necessary." A few of the guys exchanged looks, not because they disagreed, but because they expected it. To them, I wasn't the one you rely on. I was the one you keep out of the way. I nodded. No reaction, no questions. But inside, something didn't sit right. Because the more I listened to the plan, the more I realized something was missing. Something important. And if I was right, this wasn't just a risky mission. It was a setup for something much worse. We moved out just before dark. The sky was fading fast, and the terrain ahead was nothing but silence and shadows. Every step felt heavier than the last. Not because of the gear, but because something wasn't right. Too quiet. No movement. No signs of life. Even the radio stayed silent longer than usual. That's when I noticed it. Tracks, fresh ones. Not random. Not scattered. Organized. Like someone had been waiting, not running. I slowed down for a second, trying to get a better look. But before I could say anything, "Keep moving," my commander said sharply through the comms. No discussion. No check. Just move. I looked ahead at the team, then back at the ground. The pattern didn't lie. This wasn't an empty zone. This was a controlled area, and we were walking straight into it. I opened my mic, hesitated for a second, then closed it again, because at that moment, I realized something else. Even if I warned them, they wouldn't listen. We were halfway through the zone when it happened. No warning, no signal, just chaos. Gunfire erupted from both sides. Fast, controlled, precise, not random shooting. They knew exactly where we were. The first two men dropped before anyone could react. The radio exploded with voices, commands, confusion. "Take cover. Where is it coming from? Fall back." But there was no clear direction. No safe side. We weren't in a fight. We were inside an ambush. I dropped behind a broken ridge, heart pounding, eyes scanning everything at once. And that's when I saw it clearly. This wasn't a small enemy group. This was coordinated, planned, and perfectly timed. I grabbed my comms, about to speak, but before I could say a word, my commander's voice cut through the chaos. Hold position. Do not break formation. Even now, he thought this was under control. Even now, he didn't see what was really happening. I looked around again. The angles, the fire pattern, the positions. There was only one truth left. If we stayed where we were, no one was getting out alive. I didn't wait for another order, because at that point, following orders was the fastest way to die. I shifted my position slightly, watching the pattern of fire again. Left side, controlled bursts. Right side, suppressing movement. They weren't just attacking, they were locking us in. That's when I saw the gap. Small, narrow, almost invisible, but it was there. A blind angle in their formation, just wide enough for one person to move through. Not a team, not a squad, just one. I grabbed my comms again. This time, I didn't hesitate. There's an opening on the east side, I said. No response, just static and distant shouting. I tried again. Louder, clearer, still nothing. Either they couldn't hear me, or they weren't listening. I looked back at the team, pinned down, disoriented, waiting for orders that weren't going to save them. That's when it hit me. If someone didn't move now, there wouldn't be anyone left to move at all. So I made a decision. The same soldier they called weak was about to do the one thing no one else was willing to do. I moved before I could overthink it. Low, fast, controlled. Every step calculated, every breath steady. Even though everything around me was falling apart. Gunfire was still coming from both sides. But I stayed inside that narrow blind spot I had seen earlier. One wrong move, and I'd be exposed. But stopping wasn't an option anymore. I pushed forward through the gap, sliding behind cover, then moving again before the next burst could track me. It felt like I was moving through seconds that stretched into minutes. Every sound sharper, every movement louder. Then suddenly, silence. Not complete silence, but different. I had made it past their main line. I was behind them. I slowed down, catching my breath, scanning the area carefully. And that's when I saw what no one else could see from the front. Their command point, hidden just behind a ridge, coordinating everything. That's why the attack felt perfect. It wasn't chaos. It was controlled from the back. I raised my weapon, steadied my hands, and for the first time since the mission started, I knew exactly what had to be done. I took one steady breath and moved in. No hesitation this time, no doubt. The command point was closer than I expected. 2 men on the radio, one scanning the field. They didn't see me, not yet. I stepped out just enough, lined up my shot, and pulled the trigger. One down. The second turned too late. Silence. Just like that, the control behind the ambush was gone. And within seconds, everything on the field started to shift. The gunfire lost its rhythm. The pressure eased. They weren't coordinated anymore. They were reacting. I grabbed the radio from the ground and switched to their frequency, then back to ours. Push east side. Now! This time, they heard me. I could hear the change in their movement. The urgency. The shift from survival to action. One by one, they started breaking through the line. The same team that was seconds away from being wiped out was now moving out alive. And for the first time since the mission started, there was a way out. By the time we got back to base, everything felt different. No one was talking the way they used to. No jokes, no side looks, just silence. The kind that comes after people realize how close they were to not making it back. I stepped off the vehicle last. Same uniform, same face, but not the same soldier they thought I was. My commander was standing there, waiting. For a second, it looked like he was about to say something important, but he didn't. He just looked at me, longer than before, then gave a small nod. No apology, no explanation. But everyone saw it. The same man who called me the weakest soldier couldn't even look at me the same way anymore. And the rest of the unit, they didn't say anything either, because they didn't need to. They already knew the truth. the soldier they never trusted, was the only reason they all came back alive. So tell me, if you were in my place, would you prove them wrong? Or let them keep believing you were weak? Fire.